So you have no friends, and I think that's funny. Let's
Can't help that.
talk about that.
Why?
Humble Narcissist Podcast episode 9. We're at 9 now.
Are we?
Woo woo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're at 9.
Rocking and rolling, moving along. Today, before we get to our topic, which is going to be the Salt Lake Housewives reunion, because that's definitely a hot topic in the news lately. So I feel like now is the appropriate time for us to jump on and really talk about it. What have you been up to?
Not much. Same old, just working, playing video games.
Well, I mean, I know that we went to Helium yesterday. Did you have a good time?
Yes, but they were painful.
We went to the open mics because I want to start doing open mics again. So
They just weren't funny.
well, they're amateurs.
Yes.
They'll get better.
I know this.
Everybody has to start somewhere. I had a good time. I loved the guy that hosted. I thought he was really good. And
He
then
was.
The closer
was good.
He was
but
good.
You know, you always have to have a good opener and a good closer.
That's true. But I thought that it was pretty good. Like, some of them were very entertaining.
Yeah, some of them had a few good jokes, but then there were some of them that was just silence the whole time.
I always feel like when it comes to stand-up, so long as there's that one good joke that people are going to remember later on at night, then you did a good job.
Exactly.
Long as you have just one. Like, you don't need good ones all throughout when you're just starting, but so long as you have one really good one that sticks out, you have something you can build off of. But other than that, today I had to go and do my passport appointment because I've never owned a passport, and I'm 33 now.
Well, that's good.
It was a freaking nightmare. So it turns out, because you can fill out all the forms online, so I filled it out. Turns out I filled it out wrong because
Can't help stupid.
the thing on there said middle name, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll do it like how my social security card is usually listed, just FW, because they never wanted to put my 2 middle names, Frank Wilson. Turns out it has to be Frank Wilson.
Yeah.
So then I learned that, but when I was trying to get ready to go, I realized, oh crap, I don't have my birth certificate, and I couldn't find it in this house, and I just kept looking, and then so I was like, oh God. So I called my mother. Thank God she was like, oh, just go to my house. I might have one. I don't think I do, but I might. So she sat there and luckily had one, but as I was leaving, it hit me. I was like, hey, dum-dum, you changed your last name because you got married. So now I'm Van Hoosier Brown instead of just Brown, as all of the original documents stated. So then I had to drive back to my house to go get it, and then come back with my marriage license. And then so I finally get there, and then that was where the guy told me that I filled it out wrong. So then I had to fill it out just writing with my hand.
Yeah.
Which turns out, because you know how when you're writing with your hand, you occasionally make an error? Yeah, so I made an error, so I scribbled it out. Turns out you can't do that either.
Nope, so you had to restart it.
So I had to do attempt number 3, which was so much fun, but the guy was super nice, so thank God for that, because I've heard horror stories about the post office.
Honestly, when I did my passport, I don't remember there being an issue.
Oh,
I remember just turning in the papers, taking my picture, then waiting the couple months to get it.
But it was a fun adventure. But I was very stressed out once it was done, because they were like, well, we have to send your marriage license along with your birth certificate, but we can send a copy of the driver's license, so you can keep that, but they'll mail back the other stuff once they're done. So I was like, you're just gonna take all this stuff and like I have to go weeks without it? Yeah. What if something happens?
That's why you make copies of it.
Well, he made 2 to 3 copies of each for me, and then...
So you still have the original?
No.
Oh.
They sent the original, so I don't have a birth certificate and I don't have my marriage license at this time. But I have the copies. But he was super nice. I can't say that enough, because you, of all people, know when it comes to customer service, one bad customer service person and it's over. Like, your whole day is ruined. All around, like, it was a good experience. I cannot fault them for my stupidity, especially when I realized I spelled my dad's middle name wrong, which I told Mom because we went to lunch afterwards. I said, well, I'm kind of glad he's dead because it'd be embarrassing to have to tell my dad that I didn't even know how to spell his middle name.
Your dad would sit there and just laugh.
He would laugh, though I did discover, and thank God nobody at the United States Postal Service pays attention to our podcast. I got the cities that my parents were born in wrong, which is great. Mom, I guess she was actually born in Anderson, which is ironic because that's where Dad is from. And then he was actually born in Indianapolis. And I put Greenfield for her and Anderson for him. So I was wrong on that. So hopefully that doesn't get flagged, but we'll see.
Maybe.
We went to Montana Mike's, which is a restaurant that's similar to Texas Roadhouse, and on the door was the note saying that they were out of rolls. So I can only imagine the hell people are going to give them tonight at dinner, because that's like what everybody goes there for.
Right.
Though what gets me is because as you know, my sister Amanda always sits there and says that I complain all the time at places. I very rarely complain about food or anything like that at the restaurant. Like, I'll say something later.
Well, yeah, when you're not there.
Right.
Because that's what you do. You wait till after you go away to complain.
I don't know about you, but I have that illogical fear that
they're going to spit in your food.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what it is? What was that movie? Was it Road Trip, where the guy took the French toast back?
Maybe.
And he was licking it off of the powdered sugar. He was licking the powdered sugar off of the French toast. Then he stuck it in between his butt cheeks and then put it back on the plate. And then the kid ate it. And he was like, oh, this is good.
Exactly.
That movie has scarred me, because I think every time they take my food back, that is what is happening.
Exactly. That's why I don't complain. I just eat it.
Right. Just eat it and move on.
Especially, and then very respectful, because I know how customer service is.
Because customer service is so stressful. Because, again, one asshole will just ruin the whole day.
Exactly.
I was watching some of the something interesting that I think that you will enjoy is you need to go look up the prison confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So I've been watching that, and still the moment of the whole thing that keeps sticking in my head that I feel everybody needs to go watch is the one with her grandfather, where Gypsy's like, when I lived with him and my grandma, he used to molest me or sexually abuse me. And I was like, come on now, girl. Like, we all know that the Munchausen thing was proven. It's nutty. So, like, I want to say, what is it, like, cynical side? I was like, I don't know if I believe it entirely. And then when the interviewer asked her grandpa, and they're like, she says that there was sexual abuse that happened, and his response is, she said that? And I was like, okay, where are we going with this? And then he's like, no, that's not true. And I thought that was the end of it. I thought that was the end of his whole statement. And then when he sits there and he looks dead into the camera and says, no, she touched me. Like, what? He's like, this 4-year-old / 5-year-old just kept reaching for me. And it's like, no, that is not how anything works. So now, like, immediately I'm like, oh God, that girl's been through even worse.
She's going to get her own show. She's already on a press tour.
A reality show?
I hope.
I would watch the Gypsy Rose reality show. Wouldn't you?
That'd be fun.
It would be so much fun. I would totally watch that. I think that'd be interesting.
You watch anything reality.
Oh, I love anything reality. Like 1,000 Pound Sisters. You got to watch that. There's 90 Day Fiance. I'm trying to get into the single life. They brought back 2 people I cannot stand, and it's Chantel and it is Natalie, and I want them both gone. Like, Chantel already has her own show, so why is she back on 90 Day Fiancé?
Are you sure that other show didn't get canceled?
Well, they still run it on the TLC network, which cracks me up that all these trashy reality shows are always on TLC.
You know what TLC show I miss? Breaking Amish.
That was a good one. It always cracked me up. And then I believe she had no other choice.
I don't blame her for killing her.
I mean, she didn't kill her.
No.
Her boyfriend did.
Exactly.
I saw a funny TikTok, though, on this subject, and then we'll move on, where this guy said Gypsy Rose's boyfriend killed her mom because all he wanted was for her to be free. You can't even get a text back. He would if he wanted to. And I was like, that is so true.
Man.
We'll take a quick short break, and then we will be back to talk Housewives Salt Lake Edition.
Okay. We are back
Let's-
talking about Housewives.
Of Salt Lake. You might have to be a little more specific because of specific. You need to be specific because of the fact that there's so many of them going on. So
there's only what 3-4 of them going on at once right now. You have Potomac, you have Beverly Hills, you have Salt Lake.
But I only watched 2 of them.
You should watch Potomac though.
I know. You tell me this like every podcast that I needed to start watching Potomac.
You know what's coming back soon? The Traitors.
Ooh. I saw the preview for that, and there's like 3 housewives on there, so I'm excited for that too.
Tamra,
Sheree.
Not Phaedra. Yeah, Phaedra is on there.
Phaedra and Sheree. Because there's a funny moment. I'm excited for Peppermint. I want her to win. But the scene on the commercial with Phaedra that cracked me up, which is completely off topic, but well, I mean, it's housewife related.
Exactly.
She sits there and she says to some bachelor, she's like, "This ain't The Bachelor. I don't have to kiss your ass for a rose." And I'm like, yes!
See, my Big Brother people are going to be on there, so that'll be good. I have Janelle and Dan.
I don't watch Big Brother. But I do know that according to some people, Big Brother is always watching you.
Yeah.
Woo woo. Anyway, Salt Lake. So, first off, I want to start with the finale because we didn't really talk about that.
It was Emmy worthy.
Yes. Even Jennifer Lawrence said that she would give them her Oscar.
It was so like high camp.
Produced.
Oh, it was great.
It was phenomenal. Like, I loved the moment, like, when they were shopping, and then Heather's like, "Oh no, I left my card," and Monica's like, "I got it."
And she pulls out her chime card.
Yes.
And then it declines. So then she tries to be subtle, like she's changing the card, but it's an actual different card.
Yes. I caught that too.
Heather did it on purpose. You know that, right?
I'm sure she did because
she knew because she's been investigating her.
Well, I'm sure she did, especially because of the fact that they sit there and like all season she's made comments about how she doesn't have nearly as much money as them and stuff like that. Which honestly, the fact that she doesn't have as much and like she's more, how can I put it, relatable, I feel like that's why people like her so much.
Yes, I see that.
Because she's not real like uppity in the sense of
she is so smart.
She is super smart,
and you wouldn't think she is as smart as she is.
No, but Monica's great, but like
then okay, so after the shopping trip they had their Big Little Lies moment where Heather called them down one by one.
It was like the meeting of the high priestesses of Aragon or something.
Big Little Lies season 3.
I'm thinking of like Middle Earth, the Lord of the Rings, where the High Council comes down and they're like, "What is this going on?"
Oh no, it was Big Little Lies. Heather was going to be Reese. Let's see. I could see Lisa Barlow would be the one to push someone down the stairs.
Oh yeah, she would. They are nutty, but like, I love that it was the original 4, and they're just like, "I can't believe this is happening."
How many takes do you think they had to do to get that? Because they were so dramatic.
Oh, you know that they did at least
like
10.
Meredith screaming, "Why can't they leave us alone?"
Yes. They're probably like, "Meredith, can you be a little bit more dramatic
and have your hair blow in your mouth?"
And they're all just like holding each other crying.
Yes.
It's like, what is going on? Like, when that happened, I was like, what am I watching? It was so entertaining that my husband, who hates Real Housewives, was like, took his headphones off because he was playing his game and was like, "What's going on here?" And he watched it and he was like, whoa. And then he started being like, what is this? What do they mean?
And all their misdirections.
And then
they all get together for dinner, and it's the Bermuda Triangle. It's like, ooh.
And Heather's like, Monica, why do you think we all believed you over Meredith?
I know who you really are. After playing the stupid doll game. I have Meredith's doll, but I want to ask you a question. And then it was like the SpongeBob thing. 3 hours earlier.
It was too. 3 hours earlier. But then I loved where she was like, I had your perfect formula. Facts, receipts, text,
And they had
everything.
thunder and lightning going on behind her. And every time she would say the words, you would hear the lightning or the thunder just boom.
So do you think that she's going to go down as one of the greatest reality villains?
That's why she got the second seat next to Andy.
Ooh.
And that's why Monica got the other second seat.
I'm just going to pitch this right now, so if she appears on this show, I just want credit. I'm pitching Monica from Housewives of Salt Lake City on House of Villains season 2. I would love that, and she would wipe the floor with them. But like, I loved when Heather goes, "You're a reality Von Teese," which I didn't even know who that was at first.
Yeah.
And then they show like all the screenshots of like the terrible things that they said about all their families.
I just love that. It's like the whole like movie of Mean Girls.
Yes.
Where she infiltrates the plastics.
Yes.
And then tears them apart.
I didn't even think about that. But jumping forward in the reunion, supposedly she brings the burn book.
Yes, I saw that.
So that's even better. She's Catty Herring.
Yes.
God. But like, she sits there, and I loved when they confronted her and they're like, "You're reality Von Teese." And she's like, well,
That's not entirely true.
it's me and like a bunch of other people, which in the reunion she brings up that there's 6 of them.
Yes.
And it had me rolling, and they're all just like, "You're a monster," going on and on, talking about how terrible she is. But my favorite moment in it is how quickly Angie was like, "How could you, Monica? How
was one
could
of
you?"
them.
She was messaging them, like telling them things, and then
Yes.
liking their posts and all of this. And it's like, girl, if they don't address that at the reunion, I will personally send an email to Andy Cohen.
Oh my god, I loved how at the reunion Meredith was talking about all the insults Angie said, and she's like, "You called me a trampoline with eyes," and Angie's like, "That's technically a compliment. Your skin's tight."
Yes.
So stupid.
I loved the opening of it, though, when Andy's just like, "You all haven't hung out together as a cast since Bermuda." And they're like, or
No.
Monica's like, "Well, they've hung out without me." And he's like, "That's what I was like saying."
Insinuating.
It's like, of course they don't want to hang out with her because they're like, "You're the reason why we can't sleep at night." It's like she's the boogeyman. You
Well,
spread
then-
all the rumors about my family.
Her email to get onto the show.
Oh my
Your show
God.
sucks. The cast is terrible, and you need new people.
I couldn't believe that worked.
I could.
When she said that, I was like, there is no way that worked. And then they showed the actual email, and I was like, oh my God, she just trashed your casting department, and you're just like, bring her
Give
in.
her a job.
Yeah. It's like, if that's how things work, then you and I are going to start trash talking some reality shows.
I wonder if they actually like investigated her more, because when they found out that she was the informant for Jen,
Ooh.
and maybe that's why. Because I think they knew all along she was reality Von Teese.
Even though they're claiming that they didn't know?
Yes, because they wanted a good. Because I mean, their casting has been terrible the last couple of years. They hired a racist.
They did.
So they needed to do something.
So they probably most definitely started researching these people.
God, I hope. I'm glad they brought Mary back, and I can't wait for her in the reunion.
Oh my God, did you see the preview with her?
Yes.
Where Andy's like, "Do you even like any of these women?"
No.
And she's just like, "I like Angie, and Angie's like, and she's like, yeah, she's nice.
Well, then when Andy asks a question,
she likes Monica. She said that Monica's pretty.
When Andy asked him a question, how the whole or something in the preview about how they liked the show or whatever, and Angie says something, and Mary was like, "Shut up! You're only here for one season."
Yes. That cracked me up. I love Mary. I like her more as the friend of the show.
Yes.
But then, like, in the preview, it showed where Heather was like, you don't like me? I was like, she called you inbred, girl.
I know.
What? Like, why can't you figure out that somebody doesn't like you if they're calling you inbred?
She was very quick to, like, air all of her dirty laundry.
Except the one major point.
I'm okay with it.
Do you think that she wanted to air it and the production was like, please don't? We're going to save this finale material.
Exactly.
And then they were like, we're going to win
every
that.
finale is usually some big party at the end.
True. They
didn't.
They were probably like, this finale is going to take that Emmy out of RuPaul's cold, dead hands.
Well, honestly, I think they did the finale like that with her walking away because no one would film with her after.
Oh, yeah.
They got back, so they couldn't do a big party or something.
That's true. No one, but they wouldn't film with her. But I did like at the season finale when she was walking away and she was like, I could have said a lot more, but like they weren't going to listen anyway.
It's true.
And then I love how they sit there and like the first thing that they asked Monica was, did the $60,000 ring really bother you? And freaking Lisa's like, I only brought it up 3 times. You brought it up every chance you got.
Production would have been shady and like did a count of how many times she brought it up.
Oh, they should have. It's like you even brought it up to Trixie Mattel as of to how much money you spent on this ring.
$60,000.
It was $60,000. And Trixie's just like, okay.
Right.
I love Trixie, and I loved her little cameo. But like,
well, Trixie loves Housewives.
Trixie does love Housewives. And then I loved when Meredith, when they asked her why she always brings up some tragic thing whenever somebody confronts her, she just dodged that question.
Well, yeah.
She's like,
because her friend's son's daughter,
Kat, is going to be paralyzed.
Has a tumor. And won't be able to walk again.
She can't talk about why she's such a nasty lady to you. But she does, though.
Children in the world.
And she wouldn't even acknowledge that, like, she deflects.
I know.
And it's like, girl, how many times, like, if I don't want to talk about something, even with you, like, if I don't want to talk about something with you, you kind of keep poking until I talk about it.
Exactly.
Which is, like, great for TV. So why is she like exempt from that, where she's just like, my friend's sister's cat's dog's mother is dying. I don't have time for this, and then storms off.
Because that's called theater.
Poor theater, I think.
Don't be silly. This is like the drama class of the Housewives, and it's so great.
I think the best thing that Meredith like said this whole season was the nastiness and the rudeness.
I know, and they were all they kept saying it like
and
her.
Then she even like did a callback for him when she was reading all of her like notes. She was like,
you call me a trampoline with eyes.
And the rumors. I like that she can laugh at herself, but like if she's confronted about why she's such a Bia to these ladies, she won't, like, she can't handle it.
So what do you think's going to happen on part 2 of the 3-part reunion?
I don't know what's going to happen on part 2 because I feel like part 1 and part 2, they're just handling like the small stuff. So like I'm really excited for 3 because I'm pretty sure that's when like the reality bond 2 stuff is going to happen.
Be a filler?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a filler. You're going to have Mary, and that's going to be where all the drama is going to come from. They should bring her back as a permanent, just
without having to see like her step granddaddy.
Yeah, and like not the cult. I don't want to see the cult, but like she's good.
Mary
TV.
will be there to film for Monica, and I really want Monica to come back, but I don't think she will.
I don't think she will because I don't think that the other ladies are going to film with her. Because once you find out that that's one of the people that has been spreading these nasty rumors about your family for 4 years and like,
but they all,
and as your personal boogeyman,
Lisa Barlow and Heather started following her again. So I don't know. There's a possibility.
There is a possibility, but like,
maybe she can use her powers for good.
That's true. I need to talk for a second about where Lisa and Whitney were talking to each other, and then you saw the footage where Lisa legit was like, "How are you?" And she's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And then it's like,
and then she's like, "You keep asking me, and it triggers me. I don't want to talk about it."
And then that was what the fight was about. The fight was about, you don't care how I'm feeling, and it's like, according to the camera, she asked you 4 times how you're feeling.
And see, I'm like Lisa when it comes to weird shit like that.
I don't want to talk about it. If
someone's crying, I just like look at them and I don't say anything.
Oh, same. And my friend Ashley's the same way too. I think that it's like, because you know how, I think it might be a ginger thing, because you were a ginger as a child. Because like when people start displaying those like uncomfortable emotions, I'm just like,
peace out, bitch.
Like, oh, there.
I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know. Even like when my own dad died, like I don't want to talk about it. Like,
exactly. You're just away. Like, leave me alone.
And then she just full on went out to a party and was like, I don't want to talk about my friend's passing, but like,
I'm mad that you didn't bring it up.
Yes. It's like, I don't want to draw attention from her event, but why didn't you ask me about my friend's passing?
Right.
And it's like, because you literally told us you didn't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Like,
and I'll talk about anything except the awkward shit.
Right. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about my whole life if you want to. Like, I just don't want to talk about weird feelings.
Right.
I don't like feelings.
Who does?
Weird people. I'm a Cancer and I don't even like feelings.
You are Cancer.
Especially to my husband.
Yep.
But oh God, that freaking, the first one has been very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. This has been
the best season, and I'm so worried that next season, like this season peaked.
I think that this has been one of the best, if not the best seasons of a Housewives ever.
At least in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Like now, like, because I only really watch Beverly Hills and Salt Lake, the drama with Beverly Hills right now, I'm just like, this doesn't even matter. Like, Sutton's not the one spreading rumors about you for 4 years now online. So, like, who cares?
Let the mouse go.
The cat has had, that's a Sutton phrase. The cat has had its fun. Now let the mouse go.
Name them.
That one too.
Name them.
And then Garcelle was doing it at dinner with Dorit. Name them. And it's just like, what? Why is that catching on? But anyway.
I don't know why, but is Sutton, it's the name 'em that caught on in the let the mouse go, and then the ugly leather pants.
Sutton
she's had like one, like
she's had good one-liners and stuff throughout the whole.
She's on. Yeah,
I like Sutton, and then that new guy. Now, well, let's just move to Beverly Hills for a second. Yeah. That new guy that she went on the date with.
We pretty much talked all about Salt Lake. There's not really much else to talk about right now.
Not really, but like with Beverly Hills, I loved where she went on the date with that guy, and like he was actually a very like good-looking guy,
and it looked like it was a good date.
Yeah, especially for that freaking weirdo, because you know she's weird.
You think?
But like, I enjoyed that.
I bet she'd be a good drinking buddy.
Oh, hell yeah, because she carries vodka around in her purse.
Exactly, an ocean spray.
She's always ready for a cocktail. Like Mrs. Kasha Davis, there's always time for a cocktail.
I like that Kim Richards is coming back around because I love Crazy Kim, but I know it's only because Kyle has to prove that she has a relationship with one of her sisters.
Every time I see Kim, the only thing that I ever think of is I like turtles.
But this year she's
and like, you stole my house. Because when her and Kyle got into it in the limo and she's yelling about things.
Drunk and an alcoholic.
Yes. It's like, oh, honey, that's probably why your sisters don't talk to you. You don't bring that up on camera.
Right.
But
you know, that would be a good like reality show, just the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
Or just like anything with like Big Kathy.
They could do the three of them on.
Big Kathy fucked them all up.
Oh yeah, but they could do the three sisters, and they could do it on Paris in Love.
Yeah,
because I love Paris Hilton.
Well, Kim was on Paris in Love.
I know.
Kyle wasn't.
Well, I mean, she's fighting with her mom, so what do you think is going to happen?
Right.
But Gosh, I even tried, because after the reunion, I decided that I was going to watch Watch What Happens. And it was Dan Levy and Busy Phillips, and they didn't even talk about the reunion.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a quick little second, and then it was like all the other stuff, and I was like,
oh,
I love Dan Levy, not the other one, but I really wanted...
What other one?
Busy Phillips.
You don't like Busy Phillips? Why?
She gets on my nerves. There's something about her that just drives me nuts, but like... She's been in the industry for a long time. She knows she's not for everybody. But, like, it just drove me nuts because, of course, they were talking about their shows and stuff, which rightfully so. But, like, I wanted more entertaining comments on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake. I needed that, and I wasn't given that.
I'm sorry.
I hope on the third night, like for the finale, I hope that the housewife that he brings on to comment is Monica.
That would be great.
I really like her, and I like that she's probably the best pot stirrer, and I will never get over.
She's probably been one of the best, like, villains.
I know, and I will never get over. Well, that's not entirely not true. And then they're all just like, what? Because they're like, is she about to admit this?
Right.
It's like, yeah, she is. I'm like, that's my girl. I'm rooting for her.
Well, heck, that got Heather an Emmy nom for it. You know that, right?
What was she nominated for?
Yeah.
That or the Mormon book?
Golden Globe, maybe. That's what they were doing. Because she showed up to the Golden Globes because she was nominated.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
For Housewives, or was it her Mormon book?
No, for Housewives.
I'm gonna need you to
Golden
prove
Globes,
that.
I'm pretty sure, are for like TV.
The Housewives of Salt Lake. This has been the best.
It really has.
And now, even that moment on Beverly Hills with Denise Richards and Erica.
It wasn't even that. It was a different kind of drama. It was like a.
But it's not even on that level.
No, it's not.
Though I will say that that's probably one of my favorite things Erica has ever said is, who's more profitable on OnlyFans, you or your daughter? I'm just like, mic drop. And then I love how Denise, like, I will say that it is an entertaining drama. It just doesn't compare to reality Von Teese. But I do love...
Denise doesn't know how to fight back.
No, she doesn't. And I love, like, her immediate reaction after that is, you're evil.
I know. It's like, bitch, please.
It's like, you started it. You wanted to bring it up, and now you want to play like you're the victim? Mm-hmm. I hate people like that. Don't start a fight with me and then play the victim when you're losing. Like, physically, yeah, you can take me, girl. Like, verbally, I'm ready.
But Denise Richards, she doesn't seem like she's all there anymore.
No, she doesn't. But, like...
Probably she fucked her up.
I
allegedly.
Like, why is she sitting there picking fights with Erica and then getting upset when Erica's winning?
See, that was Denise's problem. She shouldn't have brought up the whole kid thing. There's a lot of stuff Denise could have fought Erica over.
Right, and then you bring up the kid thing, and I loved when Erica was like, look, at your barbecue, you just talked about how big your husband's dick is. And she's like, no, I didn't. And then it cuts to the clip where she's like, he's got a big dick.
Sounds like, I was at the party. Denise has some explaining to do. And on that note, we're going to take a break.
And then we'll be back to finish this up. And
we are back.
So, final thoughts. Do you think that they're going to bring the husbands on for the reunions like they usually do?
I don't think so.
Their husbands were kind of boring this season.
They really didn't play a part. It was all Monica.
I know. Monica was the story, the whole script. She was everything this season. I know. Like, I will say that Monica...
You had your small fights. You had, like, the Meredith and the Angie fight. You had the Heather and the Whitney shit.
Which...
You had the Lisa and the Whitney shit.
The Heather thing with Whitney, like, that one I thought was dumb after she was like...
You exploited my vagina.
And Heather's like, I read everything to her, and she said it was fine. So the moment that, like, she said that, and then when she asked Whitney about it, and she's like, well, you did, and it's like... Where is your argument then? She literally read that to you and then said, is that okay? And when you told her no to some things, she changed it.
Exactly.
So, move on, Whitney. Whitney, I feel, is the worst pot stirrer. Like, poor Heather, though. This whole season, I've been ragging on her, like, talking about how her whole story is that stupid book. Then in the end, she came through, man. She came through.
I wondered, because when they brought out the seating chart, I wondered why she would get the
head seat.
Yeah, the seat next to
So do they always just seat the biggest people for the season next to him?
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's only been like one other housewife in their first season to sit next to Andy, besides like New York, because that was just a brand new.
Who was it?
It was an Orange County one, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't watch Orange County.
Well, I mean, Monica earned it. Mm-hmm. I think she earned 10 seasons out of this if she really wanted it.
I agree.
She was so good. Closing thoughts? Anything that you hope to come out of the reunion? Any questions that you have? I'm
excited to see how the burn book goes. I didn't really think it really was like the premise of Mean Girls.
It really was. And now that you brought up the burn book, I was like, oh my God, it makes total sense now. Mm-hmm. Because now they're doing the Mean Girl commercials and stuff.
Well, yeah. I still, off topic, the whole Mean Girls musical, I love how they didn't advertise the songs because they wanted people to go see the coming of age movie.
I want to like it, but I hate musicals so much. Mm-hmm. I just don't like them. The only musical that made me laugh was Into the Woods. And that was because they took such a strong stance on infidelity. Because as soon as she's like, I'm going to kiss the prince, and she kissed him, and she's like, I shouldn't have done that, and she falls off the cliff.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's what you get, you cheater. That and that weird song that the little girl sang when she was inside Johnny Depp as the wolf.
I know.
I was like, this is uncomfortable. But
on that note, we're going to end things.
I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Like and subscribe. You can find us on Patreon. We're on Spotify. Leave us an Apple review. Please give us at least 4 to 5 stars because we want people to see us. And follow, subscribe. Yeah.
Have fun.
That's how you're going to end it.
I don't know what to say.
He loves you. Bye.